The allies of 2021 have now become deadly enemies in 2023. Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif has threatened to bomb terror hideouts in Afghanistan. For a country which for decades had armed, trained and nurtured the Taliban as a strategic asset, it now comes as a surprise that Islamabad should threaten the Afghan Taliban with dire consequences. So what has suddenly changed between Pakistan and the Afghan Taliban ever since it has taken control of Kabul? How much of a threat is the TTP to Pakistan? What damage has the TTP done since it has declared an all-out war against the Pakistani state in November 2022? Our next report explores. Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif has set the cat among the pigeons. In a recent interview, he said, and I quote, "Whatever is emanating from the Afghan soil is their responsibility. If that is not done, at some point we'll have to resort to some measures which will definitely mean wherever the terrorists are, their sanctuaries on Afghan soil, we'll have to hit them because we cannot tolerate this situation for long." The situation that Pakistan finds itself in is that of a relentless wave after wave of terror attacks that have been carried out by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan ever since the talks broke down between the TTP and the government in Islamabad. January 2023 has been recorded as one of the bloodiest months, with 134 people being killed in over 44 different incidents of terror across the country. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan stated objective is the destruction of the Pakistani state as it now exists, to establish a new state under the TTP with its own narrow interpretation of Sharia. To this end, the TTP has declared an all-out war against Pakistan and has exhorted its members to attack Pakistan's security infrastructure and personnel wherever they exist. The TTP, which is also known as the Pakistani Taliban, is attached to the hip of the Afghan Taliban. Established in 2007, the Pakistani Taliban has sworn its allegiance to Kabul. When the Taliban stormed to power on the 15th of August in 2021, few in Islamabad could have predicted the nature of challenge the Afghan Taliban would create for Pakistan. After all, it was Pakistan which for decades had nurtured the Taliban as Rawalpindi's strategic asset. But instead of being beholden to their benefactor, the Afghan Taliban have now turned on the heat on Pakistan. Consider this: the long-standing border dispute over the Durand Line has now come alive. The Durand Line cuts right through the mountains of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, separating the Pashtuns into the two nations of Afghanistan and Pakistan. No Afghan government has recognized this line, neither have the Taliban. In fact, border fences constructed by the Taliban have been demolished by the Afghan Taliban. The Pakistani Taliban have been involved in some of the most high-profile terror attacks, including in the assassination of the former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto. Over 70,000 people have been killed in terror attacks unleashed by the Pakistani Taliban since 2007. The Frankenstein monster, nurtured by Islamabad and Rawalpindi, is now knocking on its gates. The Pakistani Taliban is using the exact same tactics that were used by the Afghan Taliban in the 2-decade-long insurgency against the Americans. And no one at this moment can predict the outcome of a grueling conflict between the Pakistani state and the Pakistani Taliban.